Hello there, my beautiful Pisces signs. This is Rachael with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is a little bit of a love reading, but I feel like it's mostly to do with heartbreak for you Pisces. It's kind of waiting for your ships to come in, waiting for someone who's worth their weight in gold. I do feel like you're breaking down old patterns and habits and belief systems when it comes to love, and you're really trying to move forward and find something that's going to be more balanced and more harmonious for you. But I don't think you're like rushing into anything new or long term at this moment. But you have a lot of love to give, Pisces, and I do feel like there's a lot of good things to come for you. I just feel like you're doing a lot of introspective self-work, self-healing, and you're really trying to make a decision when it comes to what it is you're looking for in the future. Now, I pull a traditional Celtic cross spread because I am Celtic in nature. That's just my background. And I do feel like sometimes I'll get added cards that kind of fly out. So it's a little bit of a modified spread, but I do feel like this reading is going to resonate for a lot of you. And if it does, please make sure you smash the like button because it helps my channel grow and I greatly appreciate it. But after I do the tarot, I pull a bunch of oracle cards. So I have about 9 other decks that I pull an oracle card from just to see what other added messages you have for yourself, your higher self, in communication with your energy. And usually those messages kind of flow together cohesively. Now, the song that I meditated to on your energy, which kind of tells me like you're in this like a little bit of morose, sad vibe, is called A Glimpse of Us by Joji. Joji. So you might want to check out that song and those lyrics because it's a very kind of like somber song, but it's also a very nostalgic, looking for love in other people that you had with someone else, but it's like you knew that person wasn't very good for you anyways. And sometimes we can feel sadness and miss someone that was, didn't treat us well. But usually I find when you're missing someone, it's like you're feeling that energy that you felt when you were with that person. So like if you're feeling lonely, chances are you were actually feeling lonely with that person too. It's just something's being triggered psychologically and it's reminding you of them. So, and it doesn't always go that way. Like sometimes, we lean into the good memories we had with a person and that can trigger those feelings as well. But a lot of the times on a subconscious psychological level, we are really reminded of people we miss when we're feeling those same emotions that we felt when we were with them. It's just we can't really see it clearly until we take a step back to see the way forward. So I'm going to dive right into your tarot. Right away, you have the Sagittarian card. You might have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart. You might be dealing with a Sagittarius. This is Temperance. This is all about patience, balance, harmony, divine timing, balancing emotions. It's kind of like a slow and steady wins the race card. I kind of hate Temperance, even though I'm a Sagittarius sun and this is like my card. This is a very slow energy. It's a very like trying to find the balance emotionally, trying to find the 3D and the 5D balance. And it's a fine line. It's a dance. It's walking a tightrope basically. Now, what's challenging you or crossing you in this Celtic cross is the devil energy. This is all about bad habits, addictions, behavioral patterns that aren't serving you, trying to slow and steady, like knock those things out of the way so that way you can move forward and do some healing. Now, sometimes we have these like subconscious tick type things that we do without even like realizing them because we've done them probably for so long that we don't even realize it's like a bad habit or an addiction or some sort of pattern we hold. So I do feel like a lot of those things are kind of bubbling up to the surface because you're doing a lot of slow healing. And the devil in your challenge area just tells me like, this is a really hard shift for you at this time, Pisces. So it's like you have a choice to make because that's literally what's in your foundation here. The Two of Swords is a choice to make. Maybe you feel like your hands are tied, like you don't know which way is the way forward. You can't see very clearly because her eyes are covered in this. This is a mindset choice, though. It's like you can choose which way to move forward. There's a fork in the road. What path are you going to take? And the trick here is like there is a fork in the road. There's 2 paths, but you can also pave your own way if you feel guided or up to the challenge. But that's gonna be kind of up to you. And I'm not getting like a clear, concise choice here. This is like a muddied choice. This is like, it's not just A, B you have to choose from. It's like the whole alphabet, and you're conflicted. Now, in the past energy of Pisces, I have 9 of Pentacles. This is typically a card of hard work, a job, a career change. It can also be a card of like luxury or spending some money on yourself, self-care, self-love, shopping spree. But for a lot of you, it's like doing the work, finding a job that's going to be stable for you. And if you've had a lot of like work-based relationships or like work marriages, I would be cautious of that, because sometimes those are like the worst ones, where you like, you poop in the kitchen, and it's not good for anyone. Like, there's no good way to put that. So take my crass or crudeness as it resonates for you, because I've dated people where I've worked before, and it's always ended poorly. No matter how hard I tried to like, end things in a good way and get closure, never ends well for me. Just my own situation. So you do you. But I do feel like you're waiting for your ships to come in, Pisces. This is your current vibe. 3 of Wands. You're waiting for something good to happen. You're waiting for, I don't know, maybe a message from someone. I do feel like you're waiting for the right person or the right timing or something in your life. You're just like, I'm just going to wait for somebody who's worth having to come in. And I think that's because you've been this wounded warrior, and you're really seeing things clearly now. Like, Pisces, you really see how people kind of just treated you like a doormat. They kind of took advantage of your kindness or exploited your love and used it as weakness. A lot of the times we'll have toxic partners or narcissistic partners that will do that and manipulate and gaslight you into believing that you're not worthy. And then, slowly over time, your self-worth, your confidence, all of that kind of shrinks. I kind of like to think of it as like a dog on a chain, okay? You're tied to a tree. That's kind of the relationship. You're bound. And then slowly over time, one link at a time goes away and disappears. And before you know it, you don't even have the full freedom that you once had or felt in a relationship. That's kind of how I explain it to clients. It's like slowly over time, our self-confidence, our self-worth gets chipped away by someone else without maybe them even really truly realizing what they're doing. And without us even realizing what's happening. It just is a slow progression. And then before we know it, we're kind of trapped in the situation or connection that isn't serving us. And I do feel like you're kind of really reflecting on that wounded warrior energy. And that's also Sagittarian energy as well. So there's a lot of Sagittarius happening for you. But in your subconscious psyche, you have the 6 of Pentacles. So I do feel like there's karma coming into play. This is a Libra card about balance and harmony and justice and reciprocity. So there is going to be some sort of balance coming in, because we're in a Saturn retrograde now. And for the next couple weeks, that energy is going to be still resonating. But over the last like 6 months, 5 months, we've had a lot of karma coming out or up to the surface. And sometimes we can't always watch the karma, and sometimes we get to. It just kind of depends on your life's journey. So you might be seeing a lot of people getting their karma. But what is in your power and control right now, Pisces, is the Fool. This is a brand new opportunity. This is a brand new chapter. The Fool is the beginning of the tarot card deck. So this is a new cycle. And that's the best gift, even though sometimes it feels like a curse. This is probably like the best thing that could happen for you, because you're out of old mindsets, you're out of old patterns, and you're shifting into something new. And people see you in a very clear light because you have this Knight of Cups energy. So they see you as loving and kind and with a lot of love to offer and a lot of things to give to someone. But I just don't feel like you're throwing it out there like you used to. Like, you're being very discerning, and you're being very aware that energy is an exchange, and any interaction you have with anyone is an exchange of energy. Now, your hopes and fears, you have the Queen of Swords. I like this card because it reminds me of this card too. So this card came out for you, which I will read. It's an oracle card, but it's like her hand is held out in a generous, kind way, but she's also can be perceived as like a cruel, cold, calculating, queen, but I just view her as very concise and very discerning, basically, about where she's spending her efforts and her time. She's carrying that sword because she's like, I can slice through you with my sword of morality and clarity and justice, or we can have like a decent conversation. So she's reasonable, but she's also like not putting up with the BS. Now, in your outcome, potential outcome here, your future, you have the Judgment and the Tower. I'm just going to say this is a wild thing to have generally, but in your outcome, this is like awesome. So the Judgment flew out first, and then the Tower came to clarify. This is like, is your heart as light as a feather? Have you done things with pure and positive intention? Because as long as you have, you're good. You're solid, you're covered. If you've done things with negative and pure intentions, like trying to seek revenge, trying to get back at people, anything you've put into play that's not good is going to come crumbling down, and the facade will be shown. And that goes for your energy, Pisces, and for someone else's. But again, I feel like this ties to the karma. And the Tower is all about like releasing things that aren't meant for us, that don't serve us. The Judgment card is also tied to like divine connection of spirit and your guides. And it's like the angels are blowing the trumpet on the bull stuff, and they're getting rid of things that are not that were illusions. And anything that was built on illusion is built on sand, and it's a tower, and it's going to come crumbling down for sure. So I feel like you are good. Your energy feels good to me. Wow. And some of you are definitely focused on self help, self-worth, physical things. But that's what I have for you when it comes to the tarot, Pisces. If that has resonated, please make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, please feel free to reach out. You can book with me. If you're interested in a personalized tarot reading, I could do that as well. And then I'm going to pull about 9 oracle cards for you. But there's definitely something about your body image, health and beauty, and wow, how people see you, how you present yourself publicly, like how you dress. Something about you is very, very unique, Pisces. Something, I don't know if it's like tattoos or piercings or your hair color, but definitely something about your body image is important. And for those of you who maybe are battling like body dysmorphia with the devil energy, I feel like that's shifting. And sometimes in life, when we're told like we're an ugly duckling for so long, we start to believe it. And I don't feel like you're believing that false narrative anymore, because sometimes people are cruel, and they'll say cruel things or unkind things because that's a reflection of how they're feeling, but they try to imprint that onto children or young people. And we typically, if we're young and naive, we really absorb those opinions of others and we kind of hold on to them. And I feel like you're shifting out of that, which is a great thing to see. Now, the moon card that you had here was whatever I choose to believe becomes true to me. I think this is about your self-worth. I think this is about self-value, and I think you're shifting that. You also have eye. Maybe your eyes are beautiful or magnetic, or something about your eyes draws people in. It says your eyes are the windows of the soul. This could also do with money, just because I'm seeing that pyramid there, and it reminds me of the dollar bill or something. And then the evil eye, you might have jewelry or might be guided to get a pendant or something to wear, or something to do with Egypt. And then I say this is about your body image, or you're shifting your body because you have the vessel here. And if you look at the picture, she's kind of covering up her areas. But this is a card that's tied to like your sense of self, like how you define yourself. And maybe you're actually like spending money on yourself now. Maybe you're actually putting money into your routine, your beauty, and your maintenance and care, like getting pedicures, manicures, or getting your hair done or something like that. Number 22, beauty. This is about natural beauty, the simple expression of nature, but it's also the way people create images to communicate something of a person or thing's inner nature. However, no created image could ever express a whole person. It's a time for imaginative, lively exploration of beautiful ways the essence could flower and be seen. How can you make the essence visible, and what do you choose to communicate? So I feel like this is reflecting like your style choices are a reflection of your individuality and your expression, but it's also a reflection of like how you feel about yourself sometimes. Like we sometimes maybe let ourselves go because we're not really feeling confident enough to like put in time and effort and money into those sorts of things, or maybe you just don't care about the social norms, and sometimes that's a very good thing. Like, for example, fillers and Botox. A lot of people don't realize that when they do those things, it actually shrinks your prefrontal cortex, which is where your empathy center is housed. So when you're like putting all that stuff in your face and in your body, it actually affects your brain and your brain chemistry, and it basically makes you it slowly turns you into like a narcissist. So make sure you're aware of the effects of modern day miracle things that can make you look a certain way, because they all tend to come at a price, a heavy price that people don't educate themselves about. Now, you also have communication is key. Something about Gemini might be significant. New moon in Gemini. You might have a lot of Gemini in your charts, or you're dealing with a Gemini. And then you have individuality. You leave your unique stamp of love on everything you do. And again, I feel like this ties to your self-image. And then Treasure Island. Maybe you're starting to see your self-worth for what it is. Maybe you're starting to really embrace your unique aspects and see them as positive things. Whereas before, when you were surrounded by certain people, maybe they made fun of you for those things. Like, oh, I can't believe you'd do that. Oh, I can't believe you'd wear that. You know, I had a very toxic family. So like, if you ever strayed from the flock, you would be ostracized and made fun of. And now that I'm older, I realize what a gift that was to go against the grain. And I realized how bullying that sort of system can be and is. So that's a lot of trauma healing on my part, where I really just embrace everything and wear exactly what I want and whatever I feel like wearing at the time. And, if somebody wants to judge me, okay, go for it. Judge away. But I realized too that that's a reflection of themselves and how they feel about themselves. In many ways. So anyways, I have 2 more cards for you. I have Act. This is tied to your third eye intuition. Pisces. It says, get your priorities straight, what really counts in your life right now, and take time to consider how you can use your intuition to guide you toward what is really important. And again, self-care is about doing it for yourself. It's not about doing it for offers of love or whatever it is. It's about doing that maintenance for you, because it makes you feel a certain way. And then you have workaholic. That can also be this 9 of Pentacles energy. You're throwing yourself into your work, into your craft. This is tied to your throat chakra, which is your authenticity spot. It's kind of how I think of your throat chakra. It's about speaking your truth, expressing your truth, and being authentic. And with the workaholic here and the paintings, I do feel like you're really throwing yourself into whatever it is that brings you joy, that kind of expresses the nature of your soul. So very positive, Pisces. A lot of stuff for you, but I do feel like you're definitely healing a body image issue for sure. So great reading. Hopefully it helped. If it did, please smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, please feel free to reach out. You can book on my website, or if you're interested in a personalized tarot reading, you can book that on my website as well. And I will see you next time.